Have you ever wondered about America's most dangerous bomber on Earth? The B1B Lancer, designed to nuke Russia, has been a versatile force since the 1980s. Recently, plans to retire it in favor of the B21 Raider were announced by the United States Air Force. Let's delve into the remarkable mission flexibility of the B1B and explore its legacy, as its days appear numbered in comparison to its older cousin, the B-52 Stratofortress. Origins of the B-1B. The B-1A bomber, which was a replacement for the B-70 Valkyrie aircraft, led to the development of another type, the B-1B. As the 1960s progressed, U.S. strategic bomber development was hampered by increasing fear of Soviet surface-to-air missile defenses. This forced the Air Force to reconsider how it managed bomber missions. In this era, there was a shift towards the preference of slow, low-flying bombers, and B-52 remained relevant despite its obsolete design. However, the Air Force wanted a supersonic bomber. Research began in 1969 under the Nixon administration, which was more accommodating than its predecessor on this issue. The first B-1B prototype flew in 1974, which was an important milestone for the development of strategic bomber capability by the United States. The B-1A bomber, in its initial design, proved to be quite an impressive aircraft, capable of exceeding Mach 2 at high altitudes and attaining a speed close to Mach 1. Nevertheless, the aircraft's controversial nature was due to changing intelligence, suggesting betterment in Soviet radar technology, leading to increased risk factors for its low-altitude penetration missions. At the same time, developments in short-range cruise missiles appeared to increase the effectiveness of the existing B-52 platform. With the intention of simplifying the defense budget and concerns about B-1A's viability, the Carter administration decided to terminate this program. This action showed a desire to reduce costs, but also an understanding of the new dynamics in military technology and strategy. The following Reagan administration, determined to apply pressure on the Soviet Union and a strategic reevaluation, decided to undo cancellation of the B-1A program. The introduction of a new strategic bomber, in this case the refurbished B-1B, would put the Soviet Union at a cost disadvantage. The B-1A was converted into the B-1B with a lower speed, reduced cost, and smaller radar cross-section. Rockwell built 104 B-1B bombers for the Air Force, including 4 B-1A prototypes. At the moment, 45 of these aircraft are still in active service and form an integral part of the U.S. strategic bomber fleet. The B-1B's role in Cold War geopolitics and its ongoing service illustrate the complex relationship between technological innovations, strategic priorities, and fiscal considerations in military aviation. The B-1B's capabilities. The B-1 has a blended wing body design with a variable sweep wing, 4 turbofan engines, triangular ride control fins, and a cruciform tail. The wings may sweep from 15 to 67.5 degrees, full forward to full sweep. Forward-swept wing configurations are employed for takeoff, landing, and high-altitude economical cruises. Aft-swept wing configurations are employed for high subsonic and supersonic flying. The B-1's variable sweep wings and thrust-to-weight ratio increase takeoff capability, allowing it to operate on shorter runways than preceding bombs. Although it is no longer equipped with nuclear bombs, the B-1B may still carry the air-launched cruise missile AGM-86B. Under the fuselage, the aircraft features 6 external hardpoints and 3 internal armament stores. It has a maximum payload of 75,000 pounds for internal weaponry and 59,000 pounds for external armaments. The B-1B weapons payload consists of 30 cluster munitions or 30 wind-corrected munitions dispensers, or 24 Mark 84 2,000-pound general-purpose bombs, 84 Mark 82 500-pound general-purpose bombs, 84 Mark 62 500-pound naval mines, or 24 GBU-31 JDAM at one time, 12 AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapons or 24 AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missiles, JSOM or JSOW. With an infrared seeker, inertial navigation guidance, and a digital jam-resistant global positioning system, the Lockheed Martin JSOM is a long-range precision standoff cruise missile. JSOM is a dual-mode penetrator and blast fragmentation warhead that weighs 2,250 pounds and has a range of more than 370 kilometers. In June 2006, The first Jasmine ER missile, with a 926-kilometer range, was fired successfully by the B1B. 4 General Electric F101GE 102 enhanced turbofans power the B1B Lancer. Each has a 17,390 pound-foot dry thrust capacity and a 30,780 pound-foot afterburner capacity. Impressive specs, the B1B can achieve Mach 1.25. Yet in real life, it couldn't go that fast because of structural stability and altitude issues. Approximately 3,000 miles may be covered by its fighting radius and 125,000 pounds of ammunition. During its initial decades of operation, the B1B was mostly used as a bomber to repel nuclear attacks. However, a treaty arrangement with Russia meant that the B1B lost its nuclear role with the end of the Cold War and the fall of the Soviet Union. Along with a number of other changes, the B1B's primary bomb bay was split into 2 pieces. Starting in 1995, this procedure was finished by 2011 on all surviving aircraft. A number of modifications along the route improved the B1B's ability to deliver conventional ordnance with precision, such as upgraded targeting electronics and additional fixtures necessary for launching a large amount of bombs. The B1B did not participate in the first Gulf War, and this changed how air power was utilized by blurring lines between fighters and bombers through tactical actions that might now have strategic connotations. The B-1B bomber was first used in combat during Operation Desert Fox, which took place in 1998, and where it played a crucial role by dropping unguided bombs on Iraqi targets. Since that time, the aircraft has been actively used in military operations in Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria, fighting both ISIS and Syrian government targets. In these wars, the B-1B has proven its flexibility by engaging in precision bombing raids, including close air support missions. Its far-reaching operational range enables it to stay on station for longer periods than fighter bombers used by the U.S. Air Force, Marine Corps, and Navy, although its endurance capabilities pale in comparison with those demonstrated by most drones. This endurance, coupled with its firepower and accuracy capabilities, make the B-1B a key element in modern military operations, contributing significantly to U.S. air power across multiple battlefields. In the context of the history of air power theory and doctrine, the fact that the B-1B has found its greatest usefulness in operations against weakly armed guerrilla groups rather than industrial complexes or nuclear plants is profoundly ironic. In April 2018, B-1B bombers fired 19 Jason cruise missiles at targets in Syria in response to the Assad regime's alleged use of chemical weapons. This marked the first use of the AGM-158 JSOM, which extended the B-1B's already impressive range for striking targets. The JSOM's ability to operate stealthily gives the B-1B an advantage when dealing with targets in well-defended airspace. Looking ahead, the B-1B is planned to be retired once the B21 Raider enters service. Ironically, the bone will go to the boneyard before the plane it was supposed to replace, the B-52. Bombers will begin to leave service around 2025, with the final B-1B expected to retire around 2036. The majority of the airframes will be 40 to 50 years old when they retire. However, delays in the B-21 development or changes in the strategic situation may require the Air to maintain the B-1B in service for a prolonged period of time, like the B-52 did. After the retirement of the last B-1B bomber, there will be no supersonic fast bombers in the U.S. The necessity of speed has given way to the requirement for stealth, and therefore, during Obama's presidency, a shift in focus occurred. Lastly, the B-1B was intended to carry nuclear bombs over Soviet territory, but it never did. Instead, it went after militants in Afghanistan and fired cruise missiles at almost empty Syrian air bases. At one point, the B-1B and its Soviet counterpart, the Tu-160, were bombing rebel positions in Syria. The success of the B-1B in missions, such as these, shows how flexible big, high-performance airframes can be. The B-52's survival is mostly attributed to its adaptability. It remains to be seen whether specialist stealth platforms, such as the B-21, can perform so many diverse tasks.